Hi, and welcome to InterTech's tutorial video on the Linear E3 system. Some general information about the system. This is a internet-based system, so if your internet connection is lost, you will more than likely not be able to access the system, especially so if you're accessing it through LogMeIn, so our remote client. So you're remoting into the server. If either yours or the server's internet goes down, it will cause you not to be able to log in. Another thing to note is that this can be opened in any web browser, so it doesn't particularly matter which one you use. It'll all look the same, it'll all feel the same, and usually respond in the same amount of time, just depending on that web browser's capabilities. And that's pretty much it, so let's get started into it. So we're going to be using Chrome for this, so I'm just going to open up Chrome. And then usually it's either bookmarked or a recent page, or we put a bookmark on the desktop for you. So I click on it, and this brings up a IP right here at the top of 10.101.101.53. I can take this IP, and like I was saying before, I can navigate to any other web browser. There we go. Any other web browser, paste that in, and it'll open up just fine. Okay, but we're using Chrome, that's just because we know what we like. Our username is going to be admin, and our password is also going to be admin. Everything lowercase, and we're going to press login. As when we first join in, we'll get the card holder screen. This will show us all of the card holders we have in the system. On the left here, we've got their ID, which doesn't particularly matter. That just shows what number they are in the system. For other uses, we got their name and their cards assigned and their access level. If you ever navigate to a different page, and so we'll just go to this here, and you want to get back to card holders, it's going to be on the very left tab here. Click on it and click card holder, and it'll bring us back here. We're going to be starting left to right, so we're going to get started on the card holder. And to add a card holder, what we do is we press the new button. We're going to do a first name, a last name, and then if you want the person to be called through the Callbox, either the directory listed or only the code, you'll need a phone number. So we'll just do a test phone number. Okay. And that's all you need for the personal information. The next thing we're going to need is our card. This is going to be the fob, gate sticker, etc. So we're just going to press the add card. There is an auto scan functionality. This requires you to go to the door in question, or press scan, card scan here, select your door, and then go and scan the card at the door. This is for if you have lost all of the encoded numbers on the card itself and have lost the sticker inside of the fob. Basically, you have no idea what it is, so this is how you would add that into the system. And then from there, you can get the card number and you can put on a new label or something on the fob. So it's going to go for 30 seconds, so you have a minute to scan, or half a minute to scan, but there we go, card not scanned, and then we press OK. So we're going to add in a fake card for this. Key number, we're going to leave blank. Card status, card type, we're going to leave that all as it is. And then the access level defines what doors this fob can enter. So we're just going to throw this under the resident access level. Okay. Activation date, default is never expired. If you are making keys in advance, you can check this, give it an activation date and an expiration date. We always just keep a check though for most fobs. We're gonna press save. Okay, and now that fob is in the system. Next thing we need to do is go down to directory listed. We need to check this box. We're going to leave all this other stuff blank besides directory code. The directory code is what code other people will enter on the call box to call the number we provided. So if we give it 1234, they enter in 1234, and that'll call them. The residents will also need an entry code in order to be listed in the call box directory. What we suggest is giving them a 7-digit code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a basic one. And you just mix this up for each resident. That way they are able to be in the code or be in the call box, but not able to open the door with 60 or something codes flying around, however many residents you have. A 7-digit number like this will not be able to open the call box. Or you could give them a 4-digit, it's entirely up to you. And the last thing we need to do is we need to give the entire card holder a access level. So again, we're just going to give them resident. And so now we've got the access level selected for resident, and we're going to press save. Okay, the save has been completed. And now for ID 246, we have test, and card 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the next thing we're going to go over is the card format we use. So in the card format here, we've got this 26-bit. This is the only one we will use in linear. We always use the same card format. If you ever accidentally edit it or select a different one, make sure it's set to the following. So card format name is 26-bit. Doesn't particularly matter how it's named. Description, same thing. The total bit length needs to be 26. Facility code start bit 0. Card number start bit 10. Facility code 0. Facility code length 0. And card number length 16. This will set up the 26 bits to be as they need to be. Alright, and then you won't ever really need to mess with any of this other stuff unless you have a particular need, and in that case we'll get with you on it. The last thing for Cardholder tab is going to be the access level. This is where we can assign each of the access levels to different doors, and we can even make a new access level. So let's make a new access level just for the sake of the video. Access level name is going to be test, description name is going to be video test. Schedule is going to be set for always. Select type individual, that's fine. Door list, and now we select the doors and we press the right arrow side to add them into the allowed list. There we are. So we'll just have these 4 doors, and then we press the add button. And that access level has now been added in. So we can navigate back to Cardholders. Back to test, scroll down and press edit, and we can now give them the test access level instead of resident if we want it. If your access levels are not appearing, just press this little magnifying glass here and it'll refresh this and give you the ability to put it back or select one. To delete a card holder, click on it like we did here and then just press the delete button. And the card holder will be deleted out of the system. There's nothing more you need to do. The card will also be deleted with it, so you don't have to worry about deactivating the card individually. And that is it for the card holder tab. Alright, next up is the scheduling tab. We're going to find it here on the second to the right. It is going to look like an ID card or calendar, however you want to see it. We're going to click schedule to open it up. And in here we can see that we have the always schedule so far. This meaning that there's no time when any person or access level, their assignment is changed or not allowed into a certain door. And this is because this property is a all exterior access. If you have interior ones in the clubhouse, for example, then you would need to build a schedule, or if you wanted the gate to unlock at a certain time and stay unlocked, you would need a schedule. So we're going to start out, we're going to build a new schedule for the video. We're going to press new. We're going to do test, description, oh perfect, video test. All right, the schedule will start out as an always schedule with it starting at 00 and ending at 23:59. This is going to be in military time, and we can use the sliders here, or we can change the actual numbers in the boxes to change when it opens or closes. So the start time here, so this is our schedule. We're going to simulate our business hours. So the start time is going to be 8, and we can just copy 08, copy and pasting all the way down. Okay, and then we're also going to do at the end here, we're going to end it at 17:00. Okay, again, so I'm just copying and pasting. You can most certainly type in each one if you wanted, but I just found it's easier to do this. Okay, so now that's from 8 to 5, 8 a.m. by 5 p.m. If we wanted to reverse the schedule for any reason, so I can't give you an example off the top of my head, but if you wanted to reverse it, you just press this reverse button, and it'll go the opposite direction. So if you have a night shift staff access level that you want to regulate, you can do it. But we'll just keep it on regular. The holidays here, we need to select a holiday group first, so we're going to select holiday group 1. Holiday, we need to set when doors will be open during that holiday. So if a holiday goes off, what is the action it needs to take? So when a holiday goes off for this property, we want those doors to all lock and not be shut, not be open. So we've got that set. 00 to 00 is just NA pretty much. And now we can press add. All right, our test schedule is now in the system, so let's actually do something with it. Again, we're going to go to this top left tab here. We're going to go into the holiday now. And this, like we were saying, is about adding holidays. So we're going to add a test holiday, but it's going to be Christmas. Start date is going to be, so click on it again, and it'll give you the calendar view. So we're going to say we are closed the 22nd, and then we open back up on the 27th, so our schedule is going to end on that Sunday. All right, and we're going to give it into holiday group 1, and we're going to press add. So now with this being in holiday group 1, anytime the system sees that it is 12/22, it'll defer to that holiday schedule when something is assigned to test scheduling. So for the doors that are assigned to this, they will then go off and lock on the holiday 1 schedule for 24 hours of the day. And that's pretty much it with the holidays. So if we wanted it to work with this one, we would just need to assign a holidays, the same holiday schedule that the other holiday is on. And it already is, so it should work just fine. Next, we're going to head into the unlock schedule. This is the auto unlock schedule. So like I was saying, if you wanted a gate to unlock at a certain time and then lock at a certain time, this is where it would be found. There's nothing in the system now, so let's add a new schedule. We're just going to do a test unlock schedule. The schedule, we're going to select it either always or test, or it'll show any of the schedules you currently have in. So we're going to do test. Select type door individual is fine. We're going to select door 34 and 33, just like how we did with the card holder and access levels. You select it and press the right arrow to move it into the right, and the right is what is actually being selected by that unlock schedule. So we can just press add. Okay. And now door 33 and 34 will align with this schedule and be open from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, Saturday all day, and Sunday 5:48 to 7:09, whatever, right? Okay. Last thing is going to be the one-time unlock schedule. This isn't particularly useful, but it's information to know. Again, we're just going to press new since there's nothing in here. We're going to give it a test name. We're going to set the date for New Year's. Say you're not certain you're always going to have New Year's off, so you only want to do it once, or there's a certain day for whatever reason that you need doors to be unlocked. So, or I guess you could have a big grand opening or something like that, right? So we're going to select the date. We're going to select the start time. It'll be in military again, so we'll do 8 a.m. and we'll end it at 5 p.m. And then the unlock device, so you can only unlock one door with a one-time unlock schedule. So we're going to give it door 22, and then we press add. And so on the 31st, door 22 will unlock from 8 to 5. It might transfer out throughout the years. We've never used it through that, so we'll see. All right, and then just like the card holders, to delete all of this information out, we find it, and then we press the delete, or we select it, really. So again, we go to the unlock schedule, select test, press delete. Again, holiday, Christmas, press delete. And last, the test schedule, click it, and press delete. And that is it for scheduling. And everything has been deleted out, so nothing will act on what we put in the system. All right, the next thing we're going to go over is the door and how to manually lock and unlock a door. So we head into this little door here with the gear icon. And on the left side, we click door. And here it'll bring up a list of all doors in the system. Yours will be named more than likely. This one is an older property and it's not named. So we're going to select whichever door we have, so we can select leasing, gate, etc. So for the gate, if you do not want to give out your fobs or code to a delivery driver for Amazon, whatever, UPS, what you can do is you can select the gate in here, and then we can press the M unlock. And the M unlock is manual unlock, and it will be the exact same as if you just scanned or pressed a fob or open the door / gate any normal way. It'll open it once and then it'll shut, or it'll unlock for the normal time and then it'll lock. If you want to keep a door open, you will press the E unlock, and this will keep that door open until a schedule, a reboot, or you tells it to close. So if the system loses power and comes back on, the doors will lock. If the schedule dictates that, hey, this door is not supposed to be open right now, it'll lock. And then on the right here, if you press the lock button on an E-unlock door, it'll lock it back to normal. This lock button does not set the lock to where it will not be opened at all. This just makes it so it's safety locked and can be access controlled. Alright, the next thing we're going to be going over is how to reboot the entire system. So up here on the double gear icon, we find a save and reboot option. We're going to click that. And in here, there's only one button. It's the reboot button. So we can click this button, and we can just throw in the super admin password, which is going to be admin, all lowercase. And we press OK, and the Callbox itself will restart. That is what we are logged into now. We are logged into the Callbox. So if something happens to the Callbox, the system will not be accessible. And this is what we do generally if there's a slight issue or some scheduling's wrong or something like that. It's just a basic reboot. It's a one-on-one troubleshooting step. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the time server, which is also something Linear has to be one-on-one troubleshooted on. So up here in the networking tab with a gear icon, we're going to click it and we're going to press time server. Okay, number. So right now the system thinks it is 8:53 a.m. and 12:29. So the date's right, the time is not right. So we're going to fix this by pressing the edit button, manual time setting, sync time zone. This needs to be in central time. The date, click it and it'll again pop up a calendar. And the time here, which needs to be military time, so 8:06. Make sure the time zone sync with client is on and the DST is fine. That's off, and we just press save. And that'll fix the system's time. And that does need to be done every once in a while just because it doesn't have a time server sync set up with it. Alright, the next thing is going to be the log. The log is Linear's equivalent of Focal Point's transaction monitor, although this log is not live view. So once you open up this tab, which is going to be right here, and then we just press log. Once we open this up, everything will basically be paused in here. Transactions will still go through, we just won't see them. So in order to see any more transactions that happen after we log in, we have to just go to this log and press the log again to reload it. And that'll just reload and reload and reload. So down in the log, we get a time, a local time, a device name, a user, and an event description. This is where troubleshooting comes in. If we see a bunch of users not being able to get into a certain door, we would come in here, we would go to when they try to access the door, and then we'd be able to see what error was being thrown. You can navigate through the pages, so this one stops at 8:25:29. So we want to see earlier before that, so we just go down here and we press 2, and this will change the page. And similarly, all pages like this are set in, or all pages have the same capability in Linear. It's going to be the 1 through 10. You select the 10, and then if there's more, you can press the right arrow, and it'll load up the next set of 10, and so forth. It'll keep going. And that's it for log. There's not really anything else you can do here besides just look at what's happened. The last thing we're going to be going over is how to reset the clients. So the Callbox has we usually only use it for 1 or 2 inputs depending on the gate type. So it's not going to be the actual device controlling all the doors, it just talks to those door controllers. Those door controllers will also need to be rebooted occasionally if they're experiencing an issue. So not the very right, but close to it. This little door icon here with a plus, we're going to head into client management. And here we can see all of our clients, and they are all 2-door controllers. So we've got some buttons here on the right. We've got disconnect, delete, update, and reboot. Make sure you do not press the disconnect, and especially do not press the delete, as the disconnect button will disconnect the client from the server, and if it's re-added in, all the doors will be new additional doors, and they have to be set back up for the access levels and all of that. The delete button will just delete them out of the system and cause issues. The update button is not needed unless a major update goes through and is needed to be patched through. And finally, the reboot option. We press the reboot option and we type in admin, all lowercase, and we press OK. It says rebooting client, and then we can head into the log to actually see this. So client disconnected, and then within a minute or so we should see a client reconnect, and this will just reboot that controller. Alright, client connected. It took it about a minute, yeah. And that is it for linear. If you have any other questions or concerns, you can always submit a service ticket if you just go to www.entrytech.net/help, and here, how to create an access control service ticket. Just click the link here, submit ticket, and here you are. Fill out all the information about your question and send it in, and somebody with our technician department will respond to you shortly. Thank you very much.